like that's not what he's going for though. He goes to Cynthia and Caitlyn, getting back below by Bryson Man, drawing 3 cards. There's every chance that Ross could just dig for the win here. I mean, he would rely on hitting heads, of course, with the Pokemon Catcher, and on average, he's 2 for 2 right now. There is the Private Wisdom, finds the Lieutenant Surge. So yeah, next turn, Creeping Fruit will be able. Sam will be able to do a lot of damage to Ross's deck. That's gonna be the crucial bit is gonna be whether he can survive this next turn. So now Ross draws his card for turn, and it's really, I mean, the suspense here is literally just that: can Ross fend off Pokemon Catcher? He has it in his hand already. Can he get ahead and take the game?
Oh,
No, it's a Tails.
It's a Tails. Oh no, that's really unfortunate. Right
Yeah.
there, he could smell the victory already, and yeah, Acrobat digging even further, maybe trying to get towards the the fourth Pokemon Catcher, and yeah, maybe you give yourself like one more turn, but now he's got to fear the Surge double Belabor on the future turns, and if the Pokemon Catcher remain in his deck, they are probably not safe.
Yeah, that's gotta be a worry there, as he does go down to 14 cards left in deck now. With only 3 away from that danger zone 11. Oh, but he does have the Marnie. That's absolutely huge.
Yeah, the Marnie not also refreshing his hand, but also shuffling back some cards, so he has some more time. And yeah, maybe if he draws the Pokemon Catcher right here, he will be able to close it out. But it looks like he missed. Otherwise, I think we would have just seen it come down instantly.
Yeah, and he is definitely playing 4, isn't he?
Yeah, he's playing 4.
Okay.
I mean, he's not playing Custom Catcher. He swapped that out, right? So be like, okay, Custom Catcher are kind of difficult to assemble. He's not playing the support Pokemon like an Oranguru from Sword and Shield. So he's just going for the more risky version in playing the Flip Catcher to compensate for that. Like, if you play the Oranguru Sword and Shield, I think the Catcher's fine, but the Custom Catcher's fine, but if you don't play that, then it's always a little bit risky when you play like for Research and and just for Custom Catcher. That feels a little bit bad. But now Sam is in a really difficult position because its Macago just got knocked out. There's a Fion on the bench and he only has 1 Pokédoll. So.
Oh dear. Yeah, there goes the Private Wisdom again. The Team Yell Grunt goes back top of the deck. Not very useful card right now, as obviously all of Ross's attackers are single prize attackers. Then following up with the Fluffy Pillow, can go for the Faber. You can use that to remove an energy. Probably going to go off the active if I were to guess, just because obviously there's no useful tool on there or anything else. Although he actually is debating it. Maybe I wonder if he's thinking it might be worth doing the Faber on something else.
I mean, if Ross has Ross doesn't need Ross can just knock out the end. So Ross has to make a decision if he wants to knock himself out and get rid of the energy from the active. Okay, Sam just discarding the energy from the active, like fearing that Ross maybe has a switch in hand. And yeah, now the Fion and switch will also be able to win the game for Ross as he stays asleep. So
yeah,
it would be interesting to see how many switching cards he has left. Oh, actually, he can just knock himself out, right?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Does he? He doesn't even need a switching card, does he? He's that's the Whirlpool suction.
Yeah, so I think it would have just been better to not remove the energy from the bench, right? And maybe
that's the switch as well. But the only thing is, okay, yeah,
he can just retreat into it and then get the other energy. Yeah. So.
Yeah, no, I didn't know if he had like enough the means to do enough damage to get the KO, but the Hustle Belt will do the trick because Ross Cawthon takes game 1 of this best of 3 series.
Yeah, really well played from Ross, and he is proving me wrong. He's showing that he has all the outs that he needs. Just a little bit of luck. I mean, it's average luck. Like if you flip 2 heads on the Pokemon Catcher, Yeah, it's about what you would expect. So, yeah, really, really well played. And forcing, like with the aggressive money, really well timed money in the later stages of the game, forcing out Sam, like putting him in an awkward position where he has to make a decision which will probably always be the wrong one. So, yeah, really nice.
Yeah,
Really
very nice
methodical
indeed.
gameplay. As we
Now,
see.
no, so obviously now both players need to go into their side decks, obviously, to to sideboard something. Even though that's definitely not how it works in this game.
Yeah, now obviously the coin flip doesn't matter because they are like it's just like a normal best of three, I believe, where the player who loses the first game decides who goes first in the second one. So
Yeah,
yeah,
that's right.
Sam going first here, and he has a pretty good start here. Um, I think it would maybe be worth to keep the Team Jagrand in his hand. I think it's like maybe a little bit too fast to get rid of it because Team Jagrand can make the ADP's life just miserable if they're never able to get off the Altered Creation GX. Like, if at least you can keep it away for a few turns. And if Spiritomb is only able to take one prize card, then you have all the time in the world you need to recover your Farbas and all your other stuff to make the Spiritomb essentially never be able to attack. So I think it would be fine to also keep the Jagrand, but maybe it's just the most expendable card in his hand right now, so it's fine to get rid of. And he still can recover it later, but you want it in the early turns, right, to keep the Altered Creation away.
Yeah, you do. So, yeah, now that well, now that we're into this game too, obviously Ross has a better idea of what he's going up against, as does Sam. So they're both trying to, adapt a little bit, I guess, to each other's strategies and sort of try and make the best plays that they can to, make it so that they're most likely to win in this game too. Obviously, with Sam on the back foot here, he really needs to get the win because otherwise he will end up not progressing. And Ross, with the upper hand here, can relax a little bit and just, obviously not completely let his guard down, but just, knowing that he's one game up, it gives you that confidence to go into the next two games of the series.
Yeah, that's definitely true. If you manage to win the first game, you feel way more confident going into the second one. Because if you did it once, right, you can surely just do it again. And yeah, there we see the ADP probably going for the same strategy again, like auto creation, just so good versus mill. And yeah, you need to get that off. And there's no like supporter card currently in Sam's hand, but he will be able to access whatever he wants. Okay, he would have been able to access whatever he wanted, but there's a money, so now he needs to draw out of that to continue playing the game. But he gets quite a nice hand with at least with the or like quite a fine hand with at least the Oranguru to access a card for his turn instantly, and after that he can draw more cards with the Intrepid Sword. So yeah, it's super nice to have Justicization on board. If you play Mill, you'd essentially need it in this version, but in general, just if you get money, you can just draw up some cards and then you're usually fine.
Yeah, so Iago into Scott Power. Oh, looks like Sam's just firing off the Balabo and Bryson, man. I don't think I saw any energies hit the discard pile, though, from Ross's side off of that.
No, I don't think so either. There's Primate Wisdom into Intrepid Sword, so not a whole lot going on, but at least he's able to advance his hand and go a little bit further. Yeah, I would love to see what he mills, but yeah, at least he would one Acrobike, but that's not what you want to see. You would rather see Ross play that Acrobike and essentially mill himself out.
Yeah, and it's the first building spike comes in for Ross as he's able to get 10 damage onto the Spiritomb and fires off the Marnie as well, trying to dig through a little bit more at this point, just trying to set up as best as he can. Sam's already got a pretty decent setup himself. He's got the one Pokédoll down. He's got the one Slugma. Got his Zacian and one of each Oranguru. So he's got to be pretty happy with how his start has gone so far.
Yeah, if he would have access to Macago as well, that would be great. Then he would be able to finally get rolling. And Yeah, also it's pretty nice that Ross has put the basic energy, the basic metal, and the basic water onto his Arceus Dagger Palkia, because now he doesn't need like another switching card right now, or like on the next turn to switch out of a to switch out of the ADP if it energy would be removed. He can just attack and take a knockout that way, or like knock out the Pokédoll that way, if the Mareep doesn't come down. Yeah, there's also a tech call from Sam. Like he can give himself a little bit more options, and yeah, definitely wants to find the Makago on this turn to set up for future Bellelba Bracement players. I think it's quite fine to just start milling now and foregoing the Faber the energy game plan completely. Um, yeah, this Great Ball would be it misses the Makago at least, but there's a Mareep, so that he can send up on the following turns when his active gets knocked out at least.
Yeah, that's good. So obviously, I know a smooth over, but having access to Fluffy Pillow for the next few turns is still good. And there's looks like but he does eventually find the Makago, but it's off the Intrepid Sword. It's a little bit late.
Yeah, that's true. And now Ross just needs to attach, doesn't need to play any more resources down. And every turn where you get a knockout versus mill without playing anything down, then that's a good turn.
Yeah, especially considering how Ross has already been able to get the Alter Creation GX to fire off. So he's got to be smiling pretty widely right now. As just the Ultimate Ray takes the knockout of Nyonguru, already 2 prizes up, and still with 31 cards left in deck. So yeah, pretty good start here from Ross.
Yeah, there are two prize cards for him. Really, really nice. There's a Slumbering Forest off the top, so Sam doesn't have to smooth over for this one. He will be able to put the ADP to sleep. But yeah, Ross hasn't gone through a lot of resources. I mean, of course, there's one switch down, but yeah, you play 4, so you're not as concerned about that. And yeah, we see him set up, still not milling aggressively, still going for a Moss, like building up his hand and yeah, looking for like building up for future turns, because now he knows that all hand disruption from Ross's side is gone. He only plays 2 manis, so yeah, Sam knows that his hand won't be disrupted going forward, and he can maybe get towards the victory by setting up his hand and being able to react to anything that Ross does.
Yeah, absolutely. There goes the Intrepid Sword. Not really finding much else that useful here, I think. Just another Zacian and a couple of other tools. But Lily's Pokédoll on the active, and the Arceus Dialga and Palkia staying asleep means that obviously Ross is going to have to play a few more cards than perhaps he'd like here to try and find the means of continuing this string of knockouts. He's already got a decent bit of damage on the Spiritomb. There's a Pokemon catcher. Now, can he get ahead here? Yes, he can.
There's the heads on the Makago. Once again, chasing that down.
Yeah. Sam with a shocked emoji again. There's a skateboard as well, so you can actually retreat through sleep. That's huge.
Yeah, skateboard, such a good card in that in that scenario as well. Usually you only use it for Jirachi, but it also is like a little bit of a counter to Mareep. It gives you some leeway to play against that, so that's really nice. Getting out of those special conditions.
Yeah, it is. Although, the fact that Ross hasn't just slammed down that energy tells me that perhaps he missed it and isn't able to. Oh no, he was just taking his time thinking about it. I was wrong.
Yeah, really nice. Finding the energy as well, and he has enough damage on the Spiritomb, so yeah, he can also start building Spite with the second one. As we saw, manipulating damage can be really nice to knock out the Spiritomb on the spot if you'd like to. So yeah, there's the retreat and getting rid of the water and the special energy, and yeah, building Spite. Don't forget that, really important. There's a knockout on the Makago, so now Sam can't really choose his cards from his deck again, and has to basically set up another Slugma and another Makago on the following turns.
Yeah, so there's the knockout then. Anguish Cry onto the Makago takes knockout number 2. 2 prizes left for Ross to take the second game, end the series potentially. Can Sam put a stop to this? He's got he's got the fluffy pillar there ready to go, so he can fire that off and make it so that Ross needs to find more resources to retreat and attack for the win. But it seems like Sam's still kind of on the back foot here. He's not got a massive amount to work with that can get him to his win condition. Ross still has far too many cards in deck. Maybe he can hit something off this Bilabo and Bryson man.
There's the Fion hitting the discard pile, so that's quite important, but there would have been no bench space on Ross's bench to use it anyway. And also Ross has still 3 Pokemon Catcher left, so yeah, there's a lot of access to gust effects for Ross, and yeah, as we already see, he can knock himself out to get out of the sleep if it's really necessary. And if you are just 1 prize away from winning, you can just dig and spend all your resources if that means you get the victory for sure. So yeah, he probably has to still flip 1 heads out of 3, but that's usually what you would expect. So
yeah. Oh, the double head!
He can just wake up now, and if he has a Pokemon catcher and was able to flip a heads, then he would be...
Oh, this is it!
Is this
Pokemon
it?
catcher!
Oh,
it fails!
Another one! Oh, another Tails! There's the third. Oh my god, there's the third one. Oh my god, what the hell is going on? He flipped all 4 Tails on Pokemon Catcher in this game. What? And the Fiona has been milled by the Belelba and Bryson man, so there's actually all of Ross's Gust is now gone, and he has to hope that Sam runs out of Pokedolls eventually, probably.
Oh, that's
my god.
That's unbelievably unlucky. Wow, 3 tails in a row there, and if any of them are heads, he just wins the game. But
yeah,
no, that's it.
Instantly. Oh my god. There was...
Wow.
Yeah, sometimes you just have to get lucky in the Pokemon trading card game, I guess.
Yeah, and
sometimes you just get really unlucky. Oh my god. Yeah, that was really sick.
It was. So yeah, you have the Anguish Cry here. Obviously, take the knockout. I guess it's just going to come down to now purely, can Sam do enough mills before Ross is able to, build the KO through like enough Pokedolls, and if you can, then obviously we're going to go to.
We're gonna get left. There's none left in the stack. There's only 1 on the bench. So.
Oh, and there's no. Oh, I was gonna say there's no Oranguru, but no, there is an Oranguru on the.
Yeah, but if he resource manages, he leaves something in the active that's not a Pokédoll, so...
Oh, okay. Oh, actually, that's quite a tricky situation then, yeah.
Yeah, you have to, like, make your opponent asleep, like, pull something up that can't knock it, like, wait till something comes up that can't knock itself out, I guess, and then make that asleep, and, yeah.
Yeah, okay, so actually, in spite of, in spite of the craziness that happened just now, it's still, like, potentially an awkward position for Sam. He looks like he might put the Fire Range on top of his deck. Is he maybe considering going for the Burning Magma GX now, purely on the basis of Mewtwo having enough HP to withstand an attack?
Yeah, that could be what he's going for. I mean, I don't know how many shrines Ross has already gone through. So if he's able to keep the shrine off the field very well, then, or if he mills enough shrines of punishment, then he could go for that, because then the Mew could take a lot of hits. And there are 2 shrines gone and a lot of energies in Ross's discard pile.
Oh, so that might have been a pretty good call then. And of course he can do another Bilabo and Bryson man now as well. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Although normally you go to 11 and then you do the mill that way. If you can do it earlier sometimes like this, if you just need to get lucky and mill a resource, and then you can just follow up with the mills needed to win after that. So you don't have to make it so that the double Bilabo plus Burning Magma is done on the turn you win necessarily. And it looks like that's what Sam's going for here.
Yeah, I think and now next turn he can just he's just setting up the Pokédoll. Like, you can just do it next turn, I think, because next turn Sam can't win anyway, I believe. So you can just go for that next turn maybe and send the Pokédoll under the deck and prevent yourself from taking out this way, and then play the last Belelba.
Yeah,
And
I guess yeah, there's no
next
way
turn you
for
sorry.
sorry, go on.
So next turn you probably just play the Lusamine and then go for the Burning Magma maybe to yeah go for the 6 card mill and win the game on the next turn.
Yeah.
And oh, the last card is a Pulphead, so that changes things actually just a little bit because
It does.
now mm, no, he still can't go for the 11 card mill, I think, because there are neither Surge nor Belelba and Bryceman left in his deck. So
No, there's
yeah.
one Belobba left in his deck.
Okay then. Yeah, but it's really hard for him to get access to the whole combo now that he's been put down to 4 cards. So I guess probably you just go for the Burning Magma now and then set up for the KO on the next or for the mill on the next turn with the double Belelba and Surge combo.
Yeah, definitely. Now, it looks like Ross did just knock out his own Spiritomb, so that gives Sam a prize which looks to be an air balloon. So I don't know, kind of handy thing to have, I guess. There's the Anguish Cry knocking out the Lily's Poké Doll. So that is the last Lily's Poké Doll in Sam's deck. Up comes the Mareep. Oh, he draws Lusamine for turn. Okay.
Yeah, the Lusamine probably able to yeah, recover what he wants, and yeah, it's like now it's becomes a debate whether you want to play like what do you grab with Lusamine and what do you Palpate in. Yeah,
Yeah,
the Surge Belelba is really correct, I think. Right,
yeah,
there's
definitely.
yeah, now you can shuffle back at least one other Belelba. Yeah, just go for 2. It's
Yeah,
you probably won't need to, but
it's just what you need to see right now. So there is the Smooth Over coming in. Going to put one of the Balabas on top, and oh, I apologize, I was wrong. He did have access to one more Poké Doll.
yeah, my bad. I thought he was out of Pokédots as well, but I guess I just missed it when he was going through his deck earlier.
Yeah. Well, one heads, one tails for Ross, so the Spiritomb does stay asleep.
Yeah, now it's kind of a big deal that the Fion got milled earlier of the first Belelba and Bryceman or the second one. The Fion got milled by that. So I
Yeah.
would have, I think Ross would have at least tried to save it and put it onto the bench. There's a switching card, so at least Ross will be able to get out of the sleep and KO the Lily's Pokédoll, but it might be just a little bit too late.
Yeah, it is because Sam has everything he needs in his hand. He's got the Turn Surge, he's got the double Balaba Bryson Man, and then he just needs to promote the Mewtwo, announce Burning Magma GX, and take the game. So yeah, there it is. Anguish Cry. The Lily's Pokédoll gets knocked out. No prizes taken. Up comes the Mareep. Well, don't even need to do that really, but just want to make sure to do it properly. There's the Surge. Balaba
Just
number
good
1.
manners, promoting the guy with free retreat, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Just the play you do in your head automatically. Double Belelba, and then
Yeah.
Burning Magma for victory.
It's a good thing too because Sam's also out of cards in his deck. So
But he's gonna win because Ross is the one who can't.
draw a card. Yeah.
Yeah, he can't draw a card. So we will be going into game 3, but Ross is going to go first in this one.
Yes.
So that's a huge advantage for the ADP player. If you go first, that's really, really good.
So, having seen both our competitors so far, who do you think is going to have the edge here? Who do you think is going to be able to take the victory in Game 3 and take the match and move on to top 4?
I mean, seeing game 2, Ross only lost because he flipped 3 Pokemon Catcher Tails in a row, and I believe that's something similar to this. It's pretty unlikely to happen 2 games in a row, and his game 1 victory was pretty convincing. So and also Ross is going first here, so I would favor him a lot actually in this matchup.
Looks like Sam here started with the Oranguru resource management, and Sam started with the Oranguru, and Ross with a pretty ideal start with the Arcus, the Argon Palkia, and starts off with the Rainbow Energy too. So as long as Sam doesn't have a means of putting energy back, it's a pretty decent start here. And actually, Sam's hand is not great at all.
Yeah, there's at least the Primate Wisdom Oranguru may be able to. Maybe his top card will be a little bit better, and there's a
Oh,
tag
tackle.
call, so he is going to be able to draw just a few cards, going for to Cynthia and Caitlyn to have also follow-up supporter on the following turn. Yeah, that's really nice. Drawing a few more cards. Ideally, he would draw a Slugma right here. Just debating what to get rid of because all of the cards in his hand are really important combo pieces, so it's going to be interesting. He wants to save every one of those. Yeah, the air balloon is going. That is like it's fine, but it strips yourself of the option to like retreat into a Pokédoll easily on the following turns.
Yep. Looks like he's able to find the Slugma rather for the quick ball. Finds the Lily's Pokédoll as well. But that will be all she wrote for now. So it was a pretty decent draw for that Cynthia and Caitlyn, I guess. But the one thing that they wasn't able to do was to disrupt that energy. So it looks like another Aurora energy going down on the Arcus Dialga and Palkia, as I imagine the edge is going to be after that an Altered Creation GX. As long as obviously nothing gets disrupted again, and as long as Ross is able to find another energy, he will be able to do Ultimate Ray and start taking prize cards. But there's the Makaga with Smooth Over. So that's again that combo with the Oranguru with Primate Wisdom is a really really good find, and especially if you can find that Faber and sort of stop that Ultimate Ray plan in its tracks.
Yeah, that will once again force out resources, force out the switching card, and get Sam a little bit closer to like stripping Ross of every resource he has. So yeah, then Ross needs to find another attacker that like a Spiritomb that I can attack with one energy. So yeah, maybe he will be able to slow down Ross a little bit this way. I'm really it's really interesting because he's deciding to not go for the Team Yelgrans on the turn that Ross goes for, like that Ross has a like he hasn't been going for the Team Yelgrans at all in the first game, right? He just threw it away, and yeah, he's still like trying to find a balance between just getting rid of the energy with Faber and not really trying to stop the altered creation, but just getting rid of all of Ross's energy. So that's kind of interesting, right there.
Yeah, kind of interesting indeed. So another smooth over from Sam as he finds stuff. Oh god, that went so fast. I actually completely missed what you got.
He got a Zacian, so like probably the MVP in the deck, just drawing the most cards. It's a Tropical Beach on discount, I guess.
Yeah, yes, that makes sense.
Drawing 3 cards for free. And yeah, now Sam wants to get down a lot of Pokédolls and hope that Ross didn't really do anything, so yeah, he doesn't have a supporter card in his hand. And there's another Tails on the Pokemon catcher. It's
Oh
getting
no.
kind of unfortunate for Ross right here.
Yeah, it really is.
I mean, he would have needed to find a lot of other things, but he also had the Switch in hand. So, I mean, if he finds an energy right here, he will be able to knock out the Oranguru anyway, but he would have loved to take out the Makago instead. Or the Zacian. No, he can't take out the Zacian, but the Makago. Taking out Makago. Like we have been seeing through the whole tournament that when facing Makago or Oranguru Mill, people are always chasing the Makago because that ability to choose one card and essentially one card from your deck and essentially put it in your hand with the Primate Wisdom Oranguru or the Intrepid Sword is just so strong.
Yeah, it is super super strong. Quick ball discarding the Great Catcher, obviously not going to be that useful in this matchup. If a GX ever comes down, it'll only ever be like a Mewtwo to finish off the game. So with that, I imagine that Ross is going to want to get maybe some Fiona or well, it looks like he's taking his time with looking for what to get exactly.
Yeah, I think the Fiona is the correct call. Yeah, as you said, it is. Because you don't want to get that mid. by just like the first or second Bell Elba. And he also got the energy. I was kind of worried for a second that he maybe missed the energy attachment, but yeah, he gets it. And unfortunately, there won't be any basic energy that Ross will be able to attack with, right? He only plays basic metal and basic water energy and Spiritomb attacks for darkness. So yeah, that won't be an option. And I believe he will just leave them in deck because they are valid mill targets. Yeah. Okay, attaching one to the ADP is also really good because now you're protected from Faber. But yeah, not that huge acceleration we usually expect to see from an ultimate Ray.
Yeah, it's especially not in this deck. Like I said, there's not many basic energies in the deck to even attach. But it's considering, I guess, considering there won't be much else that metal energy is useful for, it just makes sense to just put it on the active to have that little bit of contingency against the energy denial. Another smooth over followed by another Poetic Wisdom. This 2-card combo is so strong. The fact that you can just get whatever you want whenever you want it, just with basic into stage one is just really really convenient. And it looks like another great combo there because he's able to use the Primate Wisdom to put the Makago GX on top of his deck whilst getting the Lily's Pokédoll, and then using the Belelba and Bryson Man to mill the Makago so that he can just copy it later with the Mewtwo and Mew GX.
Yeah, deliberately milling himself, really nice. And he also hit an energy from Ross, so that's really, really good, taking away
Yes.
a lot of options.
Yes, it's very, very good. Especially considering there's, 3 of the rainbow colored energies, like 2 of the Auroras and 1 of the Rainbows have already been committed to the Arceus Dialga and Palkia, so that leaves less of them to be able to use on the 2 Spiritombs, as it looks like that Intrepid Sword is going to be undone by that Marnie a little bit, unfortunately, so all those cards
Another
go.
well-timed money. Like when
Yeah.
you see your opponent with 15 cards in hand, you will be like, okay, I want the money right here, right now. And there's Pokemon Catcher. Will he finally be able to flip heads? And
Yes.
there's heads. Really, really nice combo. Money plus Catcher on the Makago is exactly what you want to do. And yeah, and if you're able to take a knockout right there, I mean, maybe Sam will be able to buy himself a few turns now. But now, once again, we're in a position where Ross has 2 Pokemon Catcher left, and he needs to flip 1 heads for the game, essentially.
How hard could it be, right?
It's just flip heads, man. It's a 50% chance. But yeah, I guess if he would get some redemption for the bad luck in the first game, he'd be able to find them in flip heads. But sometimes that's just not how it goes. Yeah, no, it's probably a good time for the Mareep. But there's no slumbering forest just yet. Looking for the Tate and Liza. Yeah, now the strategy of Sam's deck could fall apart a little bit because if he didn't hit exactly that combo where from Slumbering Forest Air Balloon, he would have not been able to put the ADP to sleep efficiently and also retreat into Pokédoll. But who needs Makago to pick yourself some cards if you can just draw them anyway with the Tate and Liza? It's
Yeah, I
really
know,
good.
right? It's crazy.
And yeah, there we see Intrepid Sword also building up his hand again.
2 power pattern and a 10 surge strategy. 1 heads, 1 tails from the ADPs Sleep Flip, so we'll have to find a skateboard or a switching card to, get out of the active. So I guess now it's going to matter of finding that and energy to attack with. Oh, he's got the counter stadium, so that's good. It means that obviously the future Sleep Flips, Sam will have to find another counter stadium or to, make it a double flip needed again. A couple of building spites happen on the Spiritombs on the bench. Does Ross have more to work with than that? The Fiona isn't going to be an option right now because, of course, there are 2 Lily's Pokédolls down.
Yeah, I think if you have resources in hand, you don't even commit them this turn because you can just wait and see what your opponent has, and you don't need to knock out the Pokédolls. You don't need to work through the Pokédolls. I think it's worth playing towards getting those one custom catcher, this one catcher heads. But there's a stadium. But now, yeah, we see a really really nice combo with the Pokédoll probably putting itself under the deck and the Mareep being active, but that removes 1 doll from play. So yeah, it makes Ross's Fion more life in the end.
Yeah, it does. It was a nice find as well because of course with the Velusamine, he was able to get back the Slumbering Forest, which means that he's got another counter stadium ready to go, and will be able to force Ross to again flip double heads to stay awake after using the fluffy pillow. So let's go for the quick balls guarding the Zacian. Doesn't obviously need that right now. Yep, just gonna grab the Mewtwo off of that. Try and fin the deck as much as possible. Make sure he has access to the Mewtwo for later when he wants to do the Burning Magma GX, and also try to make it a little bit more likely that he's able to draw his second Macargo off of this Intrepid Sword. Can he do it? No, not yet.
Yeah, opting to not put the ADP to sleep, essentially saying, okay, if you flip heads on catcher here, you win. Because that would, like, yeah. And there
Yeah.
it is, Pokemon catcher. Can you do it? It's a
No!
tails. Oh no! Are we in once again? Maybe is Ross not just not able to flip any heads today.
Yeah.
It's so unfortunate. Yeah, like not risking the Fion play and like not taking the risk and putting the ADP to sleep is a fine risk to take. Even if Ross has the catcher, from Sam's perspective, it's only a 50-50 that he would win, but
And as we know, there's 5 energies going onto this ADP. My goodness.
it's getting huge. Has a lot of energy on it, and yeah, Spiritombs keep building Spite, but I don't think that's going to be like the relevant point this game. And then we see Ultimate Ray. Now that Ross wasn't put to sleep, he can attack and maybe start to work his way through the Pokédolls. But another thing, there's still no Macago for on Sam's side of the field, so that's something that Ross really likes to see. And yeah, the Macago probably has to go back into the deck and trying to re-establish that line, like that stage 1 line, is really, really important here. But now Sam only has 1 Pokédoll down, so yeah, even if he gets the Macago right there, he can just stack his deck, but he won't be able to access that card he puts on top. So
no, he won't. But still, that was ridiculously lucky, right? Because he literally just ordinary rounded in and happened to get it off of the primate.
yeah, that was pretty lucky. I mean, there were 2 in the deck, so his odds were a little bit better, but still, it was like 1 in 10 or something. So
yeah,
really nice.
So there was the fluffy pillow again, followed by a retreat into Lily's Pokédoll, Intrepid Sword drawing into Lily's Pokédoll. That's really good, obviously.
So if Ross has a switch right here and activates the Fion, there's still no way to KO the Zacian, right? So it's a little bit tricky.
It depends on whether he's able to hit an energy and a hustle belt. If he does, then obviously the Spiritomb would work. There's an skateboard. Oh, okay, so he doesn't need to hit much now because that is the switch card, as it were. There's the Professor's Research, so he is going for it here.
Yeah, he's digging through a lot. Essentially, if he's just able to hit the Pokemon catcher heads as well, then that would be game 2, because then he could just knock out the Spiritomb. But looks like he didn't hit it.
Well,
so...
he's gone for the Whirlpool Suction regardless, so gonna be very interesting here to see what Creeping Fruit brings up. It does give it Divinization, which makes sense. Obviously, it's got the highest number of HP. Does Ross have game in hand? You gotta think he would have slapped it down.
Yeah, he just needs the belt and the energy. So yeah, but there's a retreat, so maybe he has it. There's the rainbow energy.
Is that? Yeah, he's got it.
The hustle belt. Yeah, very nice. Very well played. Huge amount of damage coming out from the Spiritomb to finish off that exciting game 3 in our top 8, and Ross Cawthon is going to advance to the top 4 with his ADP and Spiritomb deck.
Yeah, congratulations to Ross. A very well played series from both sides. Duking it out, and Ross able to emerge there the winner. So yeah, huge congratulations to him.
Even though he had some tough luck in the second game, he didn't tilt, still played really focused and really methodical to the very end, forcing his opponents to make tough decisions, play some well-timed money. Maybe, just keeping the Macago off the field for just long enough so his opponent couldn't stabilize and, yeah, we see how Ross was able to get here. Like, if you can't beat Mill, you probably won't make top 8. And yeah, essentially he showed, okay, I just need to get maybe just a little bit lucky, but I can still do it. Even even if I flip a lot of tails on the catcher, still the 80, the Spiritomb with the one energy attack is really good on in applying a lot of pressure.
Yeah, it really is. So, guys, that will be it from our top 8 feature match. Ross
Um,
Cawthon is your winner there, advancing into
yep.
top 4.
And here we
So,
see the top 8 bracket on stream right now. So for now, Ross Cawthon will advance as well. Zach Cooper also won his game against Oliver Rohin. I don't know how to pronounce it. Zach Cooper won against Oliver. So Ross Cawthon will face another Mill deck in top 4. We probably won't stream that because we had it this round. So ETL also managed to advance to top 4 with ADP. He's still waiting for his opponent, so that is a Mill mirror match, so understandable that it takes a bit longer. We are currently in game 3 for that, as far as I'm aware, so we will find out who his opponents will be, but the next round, top 4 will come up soon with ETL's ADPization deck against a Mill. So don't go anywhere, and we will